Mode has been on a roll lately. The 75% Mode Sonnet and the recently introduced 65% Mode Envoy are both highly regarded in their design, customizability, ease of build, and sound signatures. Now, Mode is taking on the highly requested 60% layout. This is the Mode Tempo. Hit the B-roll. The board is set for pre-sale September 6th at the starting price of $259 and can add up depending on the options you select. The amount of customizability is pretty awesome, so you should check it out and build out your spec at modedesigns.com/clackbait. Yeah. Estimated fulfillment for the Tempo is December 2023, so you can expect to get this in your hands in just a couple of months. There are 6 case color options to choose from, including gray, e-white, crema, green, mirage, and silver, which is the one that I have. Along with these colors, you have 8 different accent pieces in different materials and finishes, and 4 bottom weight options. So there's a ton of possibilities here. Now let's walk through and see what you can get with the kit. You obviously can get the Tempo case in the color of your choice, 1 plate with palm, FR4, aluminum, carbon fiber, and copper available to choose from. The bottom weight will be pre-installed, a back accent piece. Mode sent out the copper and the rose gold piece for me to check out, all of the screws that you're going to need for the build, a 1.6mm PCB with no flex cut in either hot swap or solder. Now, hot swap offers split backspace and step cap support, while solder has split backspace, ISO enter, stepped caps lock, and split left shift support. One note, the final production PCB will be black instead of this white. You also get the daughter board and these cool lattice and solid mount blocks for mounting the PCB plate assembly to the case. At the time of filming, I was notified that they will not offer the black solid blocks anymore, but instead offer 4 different options, which include a green lattice, black lattice, green half lattice, and green solid. Damn, I can really go for a salad right now. So that is really good to see. I'll be testing it out when I build this board on stream September 14th on Twitch, so make sure to tune in for that. You also get these newly designed feet, which were inspired by vintage ribbon microphones, and these pressed-in feet are really well done and provide great coverage on the desk. Final units will be in gray only. Other nice inclusions are this really well designed case with compartments for all the bags, plates, and accent pieces, a keycap, and a switch puller. Overall, I think Mode did a solid job with the design of the Tempo. At a quick glance, you know exactly who made it. This is a single case design, so no top and bottom case, similar to many O-ring boards on the market. The finish of the Ano is good, and I'd say this board feels more premium than the Envoy in overall construction, and the Envoy is no slouch. The top accent allows you to match your favorite aesthetic or keycap set and add some nice weight to the board. I really love the raised sides of the Tempo. It gives it a slight floating look when viewing from an angle, and it makes some cool lines at the bottom, which are machined really well. These raised sides are made possible by the HHKB layout blockers, which may or may not be your preference. It would have been nice to see additional layout support such as Windows key and Windows key less, but for me, this symmetrical layout works just fine, and I can map the keys as I need in VIA to make sure I have everything to go beast mode on Monkey Type. Yeah. The typing angle is 5.8 degrees, paired with a 19.4mm front height, and I find this really comfortable to type on for a 60% keyboard. Now fully built, the board weighs just under 4 pounds, and that's pretty hefty for a 60% keyboard. The build process is pretty simple. First, you want to remove the internal weight to install the large feet, and to do that, you simply press them into the slots and voila, you're good to go. Reinstall the internal weight and install the smaller press-in feet from the bottom of the case. Once that's done, take your back accent piece and install it using these round top screws. There are only 3, and it holds the weight perfect without any noticeable gaps. From there, install your daughter board with the supplied screws, and now it's time to install the lattice gaskets. You want to make sure that they're pressed all the way in and all of them are even across the board. This is where you decide on what foams, if any, you plan to use along with the switches of your choice. Once you have the stabilizers installed and the PCB plate assembly ready, drop it into the case and make sure the grooves of the plate are perfectly sitting on top of the lattice mounts. Once you have that done, you will install these two screws. One will go around the tab key and the other will go right around the shift. Now you don't want to screw these tight, just enough to where you feel some tension with 2 fingers. There's more to this, so I'll discuss that when I get to the sound. Now all you have left are the keycaps, and then it's on to Monkey Type Bliss. Yeah. The typing feel of the Tempo is very much like the Envoy. With the green lattice mounts, it has plenty of bounce and is super fun to type on. I don't have the newer gaskets to test, but I'm really interested in the sound the half lattice will produce. These not only affect the typing feel, but the sound as well, so experiment until you dial in exactly what you're looking for. Now as for sound, let me walk you through a few configurations, but try not to forward through this. For today's sound test, I went with an aluminum plate using the BSUN BCPs and a GMK set. First up was a sound test with 0 foams, and overall I think it sounded really good, but there was a tad bit of hollowness noticeable with a super easy fix. The sound signature of the Tempo leans towards the clacky side. Take a listen. So when I built the similarly mounted Envoy on stream, Alex Sotos mentioned that it's best if the 2 post screws are only screwed in about 4 turns instead of all the way down. And I noticed it did make a difference in the sound. Now for the Tempo, I decided to screw it down until there was a bit of tension, then back up the screws about 2 half turns. And that took care of most of the hollowness, and it sounds great. Take a listen. Next, I decided to play with the foam pack. First up is case foam. I think out of all the foams, this would be the only one I'd consider using. The sound is a bit more dampened and less clacky, and I dig it. Check it out. Up next, I threw in just the plate foam. I'm usually a fan of plate foam, but in the Tempo, I didn't feel that it was needed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which foam configuration is your best, or do you just prefer no foam at all? And finally, I went all out with case foam, plate foam, and PE foam. This has that signature PE sound, and what it really showed me is that the Tempo can provide a full range of sounds. With 0 foam, it has a clean and clacky sound signature that almost sounds like raindrops. Clacky raindrops? And by adding some foam, you can dampen it down and add a bit of bass to the tonality of the board. Throw the PE in on top of the others, and you get this. And just so you have a good idea, here's a clip of all the sound tests with back-to-back configurations, just so you can hear how they change. Yeah, so what do I think of the Tempo? It's a must buy if you're in the market for a 60% keyboard, and this layout is for you, and of course it falls in your budget. The design is clean and modern, the build process is very friendly even for beginners, and the sound and feel are both top notch. The alphas are full and bright, all the mods, with the exception of the right shift, sound pretty good, and the spacebar is toe curling good. Taking price, customizability, and availability into consideration, I give the Tempo a solid A. Peace.